Welcome to the Studio Chat podcast, the podcast designed to be your companion in the journey of self-discovery. I'm Barbara Thompson, your host and a dedicated therapist. I'm the founder and owner of Self-Care Studio, a private counselling practice. With my clients and courses that I create on this podcast, I'm committed to ensuring that you have the support that you need. I created this podcast as a space for you to feel a sense of connection and a reminder that you're not alone in this thing that we call life, this adventure. This podcast is your weekly reminder to trust yourself, live life authentically, and embrace the path that is uniquely yours. Together, we'll explore ways to break free from people-pleasing, overthinking, allowing you to claim your time and energy to live life on your terms. You'll be joined by myself as I take you through some episodes, or during the year, I'll have some special self-care experts as guests on my podcast. So if you're ready to step into a life that's truly for you, join me on this journey. Let's navigate the twists and turns of life together, and more importantly, live your life for you. So thank you so much for choosing to spend some time with me today. Let the studio chat begin. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Studio Chat podcast. Today is episode 101, and it is more. I'm going to paint a picture for you. We're actually over in India this morning. It's summer's morning. It's 32 degrees, and we've got Dave on my podcast today. Now, I want to give you a bit of insight into Dave before we say hello to him. He's going to be waiting there patiently for me to finish talking. I am so excited to have someone like Dave on this podcast, especially in today's day. We really need someone like him. He's got so much knowledge, and we're going to talk a little bit about spirituality today. He is a Vedic spiritual coach. We're going to talk about meditation and breath work. We're going to talk about, now this is where Dave's going to chime in. We're going to talk about Dhyana. Have I said that right? Which is meditation, and Pranayama.
Absolutely, got it right.
I got it right. Okay, and then we're going to move on to Ayurvedic, one of my most favorite things to ever talk about, and I haven't talked about it on my podcast yet. We're going to talk about communication and mudra. So I'm going to chuck the microphone over to Dave to welcome you and say hello.
Namaskaram to everyone, and it's a pleasure to be on your show, Barbara.
Yeah, I'm really excited to what's going to unfold today. And when you and I were just talking before we started recording, you just said something so profound, and it was just something that really got me excited, because it's something that, as a therapist, you've almost kind of got my mantra out of knowing me within a couple of minutes, which is so interesting, because when we talk about spirituality, if you're listening to this right now, I think you're going to be either in two camps. You're going to feel quite comfortable with some of the things we're going to talk about today. Or you might be someone that used to be what I was like. When I would hear the word spirituality, to me, in my past, it would mean I'd go straight to religion, or I'd go straight to, oh, yeah, I'm not interested in that. And I would love you to keep an open mind today as we talk about things. But it's interesting because Dave shared with me, he said to me, look, Barbara, spirituality is in 4 words. And Dave, I want you to share with everyone what spirituality means in 4 words.
Yeah. See, there are certain myths going on in this today's world with people that exactly what spirituality is all about. But whenever I speak to someone, I just tell them, spirituality is nothing, but it's all about you. So when we say it's all about you, spirituality means how well you know yourself, how well you're connected with your true self, or I would say your inner self, right? How well you can maintain yourself in this today's world, how well you're connected to this universe. Right. And there needs to be a connection with the nature, because you are you are on this earth, which is also part of nature. How well you're connected with that. That's pretty important. So spirituality is nothing to do with religion. It's just to do with you.
Mm. I want to read something that I actually got off as a disclaimer, I got off your website, but I want to read this because I think this really sums up everything that we're going to talk about today. It's many people go through life without knowing their purpose. They feel lost, unaware of the key that they hold to evoke their inner wisdom, align their purpose, and discover their true potential. Spirituality can show you the way to experience a profound sense of where you want to be. Now, that's really cool, right?
Thank you. Yeah. See, what happens is when we start knowing the outer world, we start thinking about materialistic things rather than what we need. That's what we do. Because the real need for us is nothing to do with money or nothing to do with materialistic things like cars or mobile phones. It's nothing to do with that. If I have to tell you in examples over here, because those are not satisfactory ever, let me tell you. Because if you got your iPhone, let's say you have got your iPhone today and you have your iPhone 14 in your hand, and what happened when iPhone 15 was launched? All of a sudden, you start thinking about getting an iPhone 15, right? So you're never ever satisfied with that. But when we talk about spirituality, or when we talk about exactly what your purpose is all about, purpose is all about to get into a satisfactory results. That's it's all about, right? Because when you think about your goals, you need to be satisfied over there. Yes, I have achieved something. That's how it is. Now, there are people who come to me and they say, Dave, I have money. I have everything. I'm happy with that, but I'm still not happy. Now, that's a huge statement people make. I'm happy, but I'm still not happy. Right? So when that comes up, that immediately clicks your mind that the person is not happy from inside. Though who you can see that person is happy with money and he can do anything with money, but can he buy happiness with that? No, he can't. Right? So today you buy something, you may be happy today. You may go partying with your friends, but what about tomorrow?
Yeah. Yeah,
Right?
you brought up a really good point because I think a lot of people can resonate. I think we're talking about the outside, and then you and I got to zoom on into the inside. So the outside,
Absolutely.
people may be thinking it could be a bigger purchase like a house, a car, it could be a handbag, shoes, anything, an experience. But it's interesting that when you get the thing, get the shoes, get the car, I want you to think and be really honest with yourself. How long does that happy, in quotation marks, feeling last for? It doesn't last
So
very long.
absolutely. And spirituality is all about to know the answers, or I could say seeking the answers to your existential questions. Just like, what is your purpose? Right? Why are you here? What do you want to do? So everything has a purpose. Yeah. Everything has a purpose. When you get into a relationship, definitely there is a purpose to it. Right? When you get into a new job, there is a purpose to it. But are you able to fulfill that purpose? Right? Just working, just doing hard work or doing smart work is not enough in today's world, let me tell you. Now, if I have to talk about all this stuff, it would take long to explain everything. But just in a nutshell, I would say knowing yourself is pretty important in today's world, because once you know your inner self or your true self, believe me, it's very easier to take decisions, and those decisions would be 100% perfect for you. I wouldn't say perfect, but they would do good to you rather than doing bad to you.
Yeah, because I'm hearing it would align with your beliefs and your values.
Absolutely.
And it's coming from inner you rather than what you think you should do or what the world thinks you should do or listening to what other people tell you what to do.
That's right. Because see, no one knows you. If I have to tell you, no one knows you, right? Because it's you who know you very well. right? No one can just get into your spirit or get into your inner self and say, hey, this is how you need to be. No one can do that. It's just you who can do it.
Mm.
Okay. See, other people can guide you. Other people can guide you to navigate yourself, to find your inner self. But it's all about you, how you take it.
Mm. That's so important, isn't it? How did you, I'm sure you get asked this question a lot, and I don't want to spend too much time on it because we've got so many other amazing goodies to talk about too, but how did you become a Vedic spiritual coach?
I say I was into spirituality since my university days, and it wasn't new to me, but it was not onto a very vast level for me. It was just, okay, I know spirituality, I'm a spiritual person, that's it. But when I got married, and as you know, I'm in India currently, and got married to an Indian lady, and I started getting answers to my unanswered questions in my life. Just like what I discussed earlier, it's what about my existence, why I'm here, what I'm doing, what is my purpose. Slowly and steadily, I started doing that. I made myself clear that I have to do this. And this is something I'm getting in India. I've got wisdom from different gurus over here in India. I got uh, I got trained from by people who are into spirituality already in India, and now you know that India. You can say India is a capital of spirituality, I would say. So I've been to different parts of India, and I researched it. I'm a person who never used to believe in anything. Who, if someone would come to me and say, "Dave, that's gold," I would never ever believe unless and until I would take it in my hand and I discover it. Right? That's how I used to be. So that's what I did. I researched about spirituality, what it's all about, and why spirituality is so important in life, and that fascinated slowly and steadily. The principles of spirituality fascinated me. It attracted me, or I would say it drove me. It drove my life into a peaceful life completely. And I'm very thankful to my wife and to my friends in here in India. So it wasn't enough till then. It wasn't enough till then when COVID struck us, right? COVID struck us, and all of a sudden, I thought this is the time people need me as a spiritual person. So I started giving spiritual sessions during COVID, and it started working out. So that's how I got into spirituality, got certain certifications done. So actually, spirituality doesn't need any certification, let me tell you that. But I just to get into this service industry, I had to get these certifications.
Mm. Yeah, I love that because thank you so much for sharing because you almost were like a not a non-believer, but a bit like me, I think. Oh, let me see the evidence. Let me see the science behind it. Let me see the proof. And now you're walking the walk, walking the walk, walking the talk, whatever the saying is. So I love that. And we do need 100%. We do need people like you in this world. I want to just move on to my very favorite topic, Ayurveda. If anyone is,
I'm all yours.
yeah, if anyone hasn't heard of that word before, is there an easy way of kind of describing what Ayurveda, because it's Ayurveda, Ayurveda medicine, Ayurvedic, there's different forms of the word. What does it mean?
Okay, first of all, let me start with Ayurveda. People say it's a medicine. Don't I would love to clarify here is that Ayurveda is not a medicine at all. Okay, it's a way of life. Ayurveda is a way of life. So now, if I have to explain it in a pretty simple word, Ayurveda, when we talk about this word, Ayu in Sanskrit means life, and Veda means knowledge. That's how it is. So you just need to know your life's knowledge, and exactly you need to know the life science, and which is connected to nature. When we were talking about spirituality, you need to be connected to the nature. That's pretty important, right? Yeah. The same concept follows here in Ayurveda. You need to be connected with nature, because Ayurveda is nothing but being simple in your life and following discipline in your routine is important. That's all about Ayurveda in a nutshell, I would say.
So when you say simple and discipline and routine, those
That's right.
those words to me mean obviously we're human beings and we're connected to the nature, so we're connected to the sun, and the rhythm of the day is the rhythm of our body.
That's right.
Yeah, so that's why I think with Ayurveda, it's connecting us, like as you said, connecting us to nature and having that routine.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people have heard about it. It's interesting because I think it's more of a marketing thing. When I did think of Ayurveda, there's something that the word medicine for me absolutely came up. So I'm really glad that you cleared that up, because I think there's a lot of people like me that were listening to this. I know it means spices. I know it means doshas. I know it means like all sorts of things. So I don't know, what are the possibilities? What are like some of the benefits if someone's wanting to look at a way of life? Maybe they're listening to this now and they are constantly on a diet, or now the world is talking about eating clean or not eating this and eating that, and maybe they're on some medications and they're really, really confused. What's some things that we can help them with, Dave, when we talk about Ayurveda?
Okay, I'm glad you brought that up. So just let's continue with the earlier questions, which is pretty connected to what you have asked right now. Okay, so when we talk about our body, our body is also, as I said, it's connected with the nature and how it is. I'll clarify that first. Okay, so as per Ayurveda, there are 5 elements in this world, right? You've got air, space, earth, water, and wind, right? So the sky. That's what it's all about, not wind. It's sky. So there are 5 elements, and our body is again made of these 5 elements, right? And I'm glad you mentioned, and you did mention about doshas, right? You just mentioned about that. That's a pretty important term in Ayurveda, because that's the important term you need to know about. What is doshas? Doshas is nothing but it's the imbalances in your constitutional body structure. Okay, it's the imbalance we are going to talk about. So there are 3 types of imbalances in our body. The first is vata, second is pitta, and the last one is, oh, sorry. I'm sorry about that. Okay. So it's, kapha. That's right. Thank you very much.
All right.
So,
hey, that's all you're gonna get. That's all you're gonna get out of me today.
Okay. So see, water is all about to do with air and space, or I would say wind energy within your body, right? Kapha is all to do with water energy in your body, and pitta is all about fire energy in your body, right? Just to make it pretty simple and explain you about this dosha, let me tell you, if pitta is imbalanced in your body, what happens? In today's term, if I have to tell you, acidity, ulcers,
acid reflux,
right? Absolutely, acid reflux. These all things, gastroenteritis, all this stuff happens due to the fire element imbalances in your body, right? And then when we talk about kapha, definitely it's related to water. So you've got cold, cough, all these things are related to that, right? And water, again, if I have to tell you, water is pretty important in our body, because the movement of our body is related to water. let me tell you, you move your fingers, you move your joints, it's related to water or wind energy, because that helps you to the movement of your body in it, right? And water is completely related to your aches and pains, your joint pains especially, right? That's what it's all about. Now, it's important to find out what kind of structure or what kind of body structure or constitutional body structure you have got over there, whether it's Vata, Pitta, or Kapha, or it's a mix of that, right? That's you need to know about it. And once you know that, you just need to follow your lifestyle according to that.
I'm going to put you on the
You might get a question over there.
Yeah, I'm going to put you on the
how to find it.
I'm going to put you on the spot here, because most people are one or two doshas. I'm one very strong one, and I think you'll be able to pick which I think you know. Which one do you think I am?
One of it, Pitta for you.
I'm basically all Pitta. Very
Absolutely.
Out of all the summer. So there's definitely questionnaires and stuff that you can go online, like what is my dosha? I've done this a long time ago. I can't remember I think it said to me, do my feet get cold at night, or how I digest food? Are they the kind of questions that you get asked that kind of gives you an idea of what your dosha is? I can't remember.
Yeah, that's right. Those are the questions that it's all about your body structure. First of all, how your body structure is. Okay, if you're lean, if you're obese, or you're athletic, or it tells about your how is your eyes, how is your height, and all this stuff. And then it goes to what kind of food do you like and what kind of food do you eat.
Right.
So what taste you like more. That goes over there, and how much water do you intake, and then it's all about, definitely it's your digestion comes into your place also. So there are these questions taken into considerations.
Yeah, it also talks about hair, doesn't it? Like how
Yes,
thick
it
your
does.
hair
It
is.
does. That's right. Everything.
Everything. So it's kind of do you have
If you want me to just conclude to it, then I would say it includes from your hair to your toes.
There you go. Yeah. So is there any way that I can direct people to you to help them find their dosha?
Definitely, you can.
Okay. And so I'm just trying to go back and make it really simple for people that have even never heard of these words before, because I have. So I'm just trying to take it back to when I first started reading, and I know just basic stuff. So your dosha is kind of like your being, like who, your being, or like who you are, and whether it's Vata, Pitta, or Kapha. And out of all of those, most people are two, and the first one is the more predominant one. But then that will give you a list of foods that are benefiting your body and that don't really benefit your body. And then within that, the imbalances are the things that you might get headaches all the time. You might have acne, you might have bloating, you might have diarrhea, constipation, to do with menstrual cycles. You may have circulation issues. Your body may always be hot. Your body may always be cold. But to get your body back in balance, if you find out what your doshas are, then you can relate it back to what foods are great for the doshas. You can pull yourself out of imbalance to balance. How did
Absolutely
I go,
right.
Dave? How did I go?
Oh, you have done well, Barbara. Absolutely. I'm proud of you over there.
All right. So I'll leave it back to you, because now I think everyone's got okay, now I kind of understand doshas. Then where do we go from there once we know what we are?
See, once you know what kind of doshas you're going through, in that case, after that, you need to just plan your routine, how your routine would be, right? And then, say in Ayurveda, there are, again, I have to mention, there are lots of terms which would be quite new to the listeners today. So there are 3 types of gunas again. Now, when I talk about gunas, these are the type of foods. Okay, these are a category of food. Okay, so you have got sattvic That's the first food, which is absolutely 100% natural food, which you need to opt to. Okay. Then you have got Rutsek, okay, and then you have the third option, which is Tomsek. When I say Tomsek, the Tomsek food, it's completely all heavy gluten food or cholesterol, all the stuff includes in that. If I have to talk about in a nutshell, it's all about meat, which is not good for your health at all. Right. Having meat is not good. Though people say, hey, where would I get protein from? People say, hey, if I don't eat meat or if I don't go for seafood, how would I get protein? You can definitely get protein. Why can't you go for milk products? Definitely you would get protein from that. And it's not necessary that for protein you need to eat meat. You can go to milk products, or there are certain vegetables which can help you to give you protein in your to you. Now, there is also a concept, let me tell you, because I have experienced it myself. I've given up on meat. It's been like more than 10 years now. And that's what I have experienced. So
can I disclose something before you talk about?
yeah, definitely.
I really like meat.
Gosh.
If I could just eat, sorry, any vegetarians, sorry. And if I had to kill my own to eat, I would be like, hands down, I'll be a vegetarian. That's food, that's an animal. I don't put the two together, never have, never will. But my body, like right now, and my whole life, it fulfills me. That was the only thing I could have for the rest of my life, I'm happy. But I know that would just, and I'm just being completely honest. And I will discuss some people and they're like, oh, yuck. But I'm quite interested. If you haven't had meat for 10 years, I'm really open to hearing what that's been like for you.
Absolutely. See, first of all, I'm sorry if I have hurt you over there.
No, you
about
haven't.
meat.
No, I'm just being honest, because I think in today's world, we're not honest about what we like and what we don't like.
Absolutely.
And we're too busy of, what should I be doing? But I'm very open to hearing all sorts of things. And like I said, I'm not a true meat eater, because if all of a sudden the world, Barbara, if you want meat again, you have to take a gun or take a knife, I'd be, I'm out.
No, see, I won't say to give up on meat immediately to anyone, because they used to. See, you can't change someone's habits which they have been carrying for 30 and 40 years. You can't change that habit immediately, right? It's going to take time. But see, what happens is the intake needs to be in control. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. Now, for me, let me tell you, in Ayurveda, it is to be said that eating meat makes you aggressive, not just in your behavior, but in your thinking process also. It makes you aggressive. That's what it does.
That?
And so that happened with me. I used to be pretty aggressive, and I used to get high tempered immediately when I was eating meat. You believe or not, but after giving up on meat, it's helped me a lot. I'm a lot calmer now.
You're very balanced and very calm. I can't even imagine you being angry.
That's what I do. So see, that's what happened to me. And yes, it was difficult for me to give up on meat, but slowly and steadily you get used to it.
Okay.
That's how it is.
Yeah.
And definitely spirituality also backed me up over there.
Yeah.
Right. Because if you need to be complete, if I have to say this, if you need to be complete, you need to take care of yourself, not just from inside, but from outside too. That's how it is. And that's going to make you complete. Right. So that helped me. And when talking about these three gunas, let me tell you, tamasic food, when I'm talking about meat and which have more acidic stuff into it, are not good for your health. That's what it's been considered. And then you have got rotsake. Rotsake is they're okay kind of food, but still they're not good for your health. Okay, but if you're gonna have them, you can have them in control. Okay, so if you want me to give you an example, eggs are considered as rot-sick.
Oh,
Okay,
right.
then yogurt is again considered as rot-sick. That's how it is. But when we come to Sattvic, there you go. You get absolutely 100% natural thing to eat, right? And that's the connection with the nature.
Mm.
And what happens is when you have Sattvic food, it helps you to maintain your body, your digestive system, sorry, then your metabolism, everything gets into control. Right. Once everything is in control, all the energies are in control, then that's the life you would expect to have. And when everything is in control, believe me, you won't get sick at all.
Because your body's in balance. And your body's
Absolutely.
in balance. Yeah. This is so fascinating because they do say that we are what we eat. And when you take it back to when, as human beings, when we used to live off the land, how do I explain this? Okay, hang on. Let me take it back. So if you're thinking about what you eat now, want people to cast their mind and think back what they've eaten this morning, what you ate yesterday. And I'm at the moment, I'm building my business. I'm very guilty of it. And Dave and I are going to talk once we finish this because he's going to help me with my food. All right, Dave? So I'm going to...
Absolutely.
You're going to help me because as a business owner, my lifestyle's changed. Cost of living has gone up. And I've really put myself last. And I'll be really good. Put my hand up. And I think other people listening to this have done the same. You think about how much packet food, how much stuff that hasn't come from nature. And if you're anything like me, I have a very healthy appetite. I can eat a lot of food. That's the pitta side of me, I think, as well. Very healthy appetite, but also, when you eat something and you feel like, oh, I could eat an hour later, or I can eat an hour and a half later. And it's because we're eating more food than we ever have before. But the key is, as human beings, we're not eating food anymore. We're eating food that's been put into a petri dish for us to be addicted to it, to make the big pharma companies a lot of money. Now, I know, I don't want this to be like a, what do you call it? Like a podcast that we're going to like, woo, I want this just to be an open, happy discussion of people just to be open and aware. Human beings, we roamed the earth. There's no technology, would be able to get nature, berries, fruit, and back then there was meat, but it was all natural and it wasn't out of a packet. It wasn't sugar-free this, it wasn't how many calories this. And our brain and our body, we haven't had an upgrade from Apple, have we? We're still functioning with the same, human beings have evolved, but we've still kind of got the same factory settings, don't we?
Yes, that's right. Lovely. You brought that up. Brilliant. Absolutely. So let's talk about that here. I agree with you. See, earlier, everything used to be natural and everything used to be fresh. And now what happens is it's all about marketing. And when you brought up about the pharmacies and the marketing stuff, I agree with that. That's what has happened to us. Now, can you tell me, just answer my question here, a pretty simple question. What do you think about sugar? When was sugar discovered?
Oh, you're asking me?
Yeah.
Ooh,
any idea?
You're changing the tables on me. Hang on. Sugar. Well, I think about it. It came in its probably. I know manufactured food really changed in the 1980s, but I would say sugar comes from like sugar cane. And then like there's sugar and fruit, but I can't answer your question, but I'm thinking.
Okay, I'll help you there.
To do with is it to do with like 1900s, but it's to do with sugar cane, the plant, right?
Yeah, it's 1900s though. But do you know how exactly the sugar is made over here? Because what happens is, sugar cane juice has been extracted and then it's been processed through certain chemicals to make it sugar crystals. right? Do you agree with me?
Yeah.
Right? Because when you extract sugarcane juice, it's not at all white in color, nor it's in crystal form.
Is it really sweet though? Like, I haven't had sugar cane from the plant.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. So what happens is when we talk about sugarcane juice, when we talk about the juice, it's green in color when it's been extracted, okay, and it's pretty thick and it's not that watery, okay. So when it's been processed, they use sodium or some kind of chemicals to just process it and get into more purified. That's what they call, which is not purified, but they call it, and we purify it and we process it for for eating. That's what they say, which is not true.
But isn't it interesting?
Right.
They purify it, add it with chemicals, and then white is a color of purification.
Absolutely.
They make sure, yeah.
When you burn, or when you cook, I would say, not burn, I would say when you cook sugarcane juice, it gets, you get jaggery, not sugar. Right? Because jaggery is the purest form of sugarcane juice over here, if you would ask me, without any chemical.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it is. But we think that sugar is again a processed food, which is not good for health. During ancient time, there was no diabetes at all. It was there, but it was not on a vast scale. It was not there. We started getting diabetes. We started getting cardiac arrest and all these stuffs during 1900s, not before that. And why is that happening? It's just all about the processed food, what we have been eating, or the packaged food, and the fast food, what we have, burgers and pizzas and all the stuff, that's what started happening, right? So when you have natural food in your routine, it helps you to control your body in a natural way rather than having those chemicals, right? And a routine needs to be in place for eating. Now, your eating habits also needs to be in limits, and it needs to have a specific time for eating every meal. Now, if we talk about breakfast needs to be done within like morning 7 to 8. You need to finish your breakfast by 8 a.m. Right? Then we go on to your lunch. Lunch needs to be pretty okay if you can have salads at that time during lunch, and it would be like 11 to 12 during the day. That would be the best time for your lunch. And then when we talk about dinner, the best time to have dinner would be not after 6:30. It always needs to be before 6:30. Right? And after that, you don't need to have anything heavy. You can't have anything heavy. You can have heavy food during lunch, but not in dinner.
So lunch is kind of the
dinner needs to be lighter. Yeah, dinner needs to be lighter, and you don't have to eat anything after that. You can drink water, you can have juices after dinner, not an issue. But there is no need to eat anything because your body needs some time to help that food to be digested, right? So to get that digested, definitely that time is pretty important. So when we talk about from 6, let's say 7 in the evening to morning 7, that's at least 12 hours, right? That's pretty enough time for your body to take control and digest whatever you have eaten.
So you talk about fasting as well. So I'm sure there's some doshas that I know the Pitta dosha, we can go quite a long time without eating. Like we're not like a Vata, or I think it is, where they need they need food more than us.
So it would depend. It would depend because a person, when we talk about if he's into Pitta dosha or if he's into Vata dosha, it would depend what kind of combinations they are into also, right? Some people might be pitta and vata both, some might be pitta and kapha both. But if you say, if you ask me, kapha are the people who would require a lot of fluids and liquids they would require to have, and to have certain kind of natural foods a lot, because it's all about lubrication and all this stuff. Because when we talk about kapha, it's all about controlling your body near your chest and your heart. That's what it's all about when we talk about kapha. So it's a different kind of routine they need to follow. Every dosha is a different. So a routine would be different. The habits would be different.
And once you're a dosha, are you pretty much a dosha for the rest of your life? That's what you are?
See, it may change. It's not necessary that if you're in Pitta dosha right now and you will be into Pitta dosha in future also. It's not necessary, because it may change. It, as I told you, it's all about the imbalancements in your body, right? So it may cause you to change, right? That's how it is. But some people say, most of the people, they remain constant in one dosha, because the only reason for that is not following routine, not following the proper routine. That's the only reason for that.
And so with the proper routine, I have heard that it's best to eat, whatever country you're living in, your dinner time should be eaten before the sun goes down.
Absolutely right.
Yeah, that's so interesting, isn't it? Okay, so we talked about routine, we talked about types of food, and
sorry to interrupt that. Let's clarify that. Why is that so? Why is that to be said that you need to eat your dinner before sun goes down? It's all about the fire energy. Right? Because you need the fire energy to digest your food.
And the fire energy of your food digestion in your body is strongest at the middle of the day.
Absolutely right.
Yeah.
Absolutely right.
Which is interesting, because I think a lot of people have, not so much now, but I think maybe 10 years ago, people were having their main meal at nighttime.
It used to be. Yeah, it used to be.
Any other benefits of this way of life?
Benefits. See, if I have to talk about benefits, there are many. I can't stop talking about benefits from Ayurveda. It's endless. It's endless. Absolutely.
What have you
endless.
found? If you want to share some personal insight by you living this way of life, how has it helped you?
Okay, I guess before the recording, when we were talking, I did tell you that I have been following Ayurveda for a long, long time. And as I told you, that I haven't taken a single pill since past 10 years. Not a single pill at all. Not even during COVID.
Do you get cravings?
No, not as much.
Yeah, so you don't feel, or do you like, oh, I feel like something salty, so I'm going to have some sweet potato with salt on it, or I don't know. I'm just kind of thinking of what some people may experience.
No, I don't do that. I don't know, because I've seen what happens is when you get into routine of Ayurveda, you get into a controlled thing, and you don't feel like craving most of the time. You don't feel like that, because what you're eating, that satisfies your body completely, and your taste buds also, right? That's how it is. So I don't feel that much at all. But yeah, sometimes during summers you feel a lot these kind of things. It's not about the food, but it's all about the drinks. What drink you would like to have. Definitely, alcohol is no in Ayurveda. So yes, I just like to inform your listeners and you is that I've also given up on alcohol. So I'm not taking alcohol at all. And you will be wondering what else I would be telling. Yes, definitely. I would love to tell you that I've also given up on tea and coffee. So no tea and coffee at all.
Do you enjoy life?
I do. I enjoy life a lot these days. Let me tell you, I enjoy
I know
my
you
life.
do. I'm just being cheeky. Yeah, because I think a lot of people be like, okay, you're taking the food away. I mean this in a not in a literal sense, but you're taking food away. Then you're taking alcohol away, which is understandable. Sugar, understandable. Then tea and coffee, and everyone's like, well, what's left?
No, see, the reason why not to take tea and coffee, because it's all about nicotine. It's not good for your body at all, right?
Not
And
caffeine.
caffeine also, no,
You
it's
said
not good.
nicotine.
But caffeine, in some conditions, it's good. Some conditions and good for people like who are suffering from blood pressure. Caffeine might be good for them, but after consulting with their physician, that would be helpful for them. But
Can we circle back to, you said the word nicotine, but then we were talking about tea and coffee. You mean nicotine as a separate or?
no, it's a separate again. But I'm telling you, all these stuffs are somewhat in a same group. Okay, they're categorized into the same group. So that's the reason why they're not good for your health at all.
Yeah, everyone that's
That's what it
vaping
is.
at the moment. Yeah.
So if a person, let me tell you, if a person who is into Pitta dosha, like you, a tea and coffee is no for you.
Mm.
No, I'm not going to force you to do that. I'm telling you, just for your knowledge.
And when you say tea, I just want to be clear, is it herbal teas as well, like peppermint tea?
I know, I'm talking about the caffeine tea.
Okay.
I'm not talking about the herbal tea. See, if you're having herbal tea, again, I wouldn't recommend you to having packaged herbal teas. Okay, if you can make herbal tea yourself, that would be a great thing to have rather than packaged ones.
Yeah, doesn't the packaged one have like some form of plastic in it, I found?
Just not plastic, but also it's been processed, as I told you. When processed comes into your mind, definitely it has gone through some chemical waters.
Okay.
Right? So that's why it's not good for your health at all. But yeah, a simple tea, if you would ask me if you would like to have, is that you can just boil a cup of water, put in some mint leaves into it, and if you can find basil leaves, put into it for hot boiling water, let that simmer for some time, add in lemon juice, add in certain, if you'd love to add some black pepper, not much, just a tinge of it. And you can add in honey, a spoon of honey if you don't like that taste, just add in some honey and have it. That's pretty healthier.
Yeah, you've just reminded me of something actually. Something that I have picked up and I haven't done it for a while is moon milk. Making my own, like I got some organic whole milk and then I followed the recipe and you do it to taste. So I do it on the stove top because I don't have a microwave and off the top of my head, and it's the most, it does take a little bit to get used to, but because you make it to your own taste, I put like organic whole milk. This is just for me. So if someone listening to this will be a different recipe. I had like honey in there. I had some cinnamon, nutmeg, cardamom, turmeric, well, what other spices? Like I think I've had some
Cardamom would be one of them.
I think I might have had coconut oil in there, maybe. I've actually got a recipe on my Instagram. I did the video ages ago, and yeah, definitely cinnamon, turmeric, and you have it as like a hot milk before bed, and it is so fulfilling. Like I remember, like you take a moment and you look at it and you smell it, and it makes you feel so warm on the inside. And as winter, it's coming into winter now, so I definitely need to do this more. But it was so, I could tell when I was drinking it, it was doing something to me. Like it made me feel, I don't know. And I think that's kind of the energy from the food. If we're going to get where we were there for a second, hope I don't lose anyone talking like this, but literally I could feel something going on inside me when I was drinking that.
Yeah, that's a good option. But what you have been telling me, that's the best option during winters.
Yeah.
not during summers, because summers won't help you. So that's what it's all about. So see, that's what I'm trying to tell you. You need to know exactly what you need and during what season.
Yeah.
That's how it is. See, you can have cold food during winters, isn't it? Okay. Now, when I'm talking about cold food, I'm talking about that characteristic, not about refrigerated foods at all. Not at all. Right? Cold foods. Now, when we talk about cold foods, lemon is one of them, right? So you can't have lemon during winter seasons, because that's gonna affect you, and that's gonna increase your kapha dosha. That's what it's gonna do.
Because a lot of people, when they're sick, have in winter have a hot lemon drink.
See, what happens is over there, tea is quite hot. It's a heat. Okay, tea is a heat in characteristics. Okay, if I have to tell you. And so what happens is lemon balances it. It doesn't make more hotter for your body to take in. Right. So what lemon does is lemon balances it. That's what this is all about.
It's so interesting. So not only is it so specific to our body, it's specific to our body right now, but also to the seasons.
Absolutely right. Also to the seasons, because you can't have each and everything for all season. But yes, there are some people who need to take them in all season. Like if I have to talk about you, dear. So you're from you have Pitta dosha, as you said, and even I got to know. So there are certain foods you can continue to eat in all season. Right. So like you can continue to have cinnamon whole year. So it's not you can just have cinnamon during winters or summers or during rainy season. No, you can have it continuously.
That's interesting. I've got a little story to share with you then about cinnamon, because recently, and I don't know where apple lies on my chart. It was in summer. I was having apple with cinnamon sprinkled on it, and I got a rash on my ankle. And I talked to my naturopath, and it was because my histamine levels are too high. I have very high histamine, and if I have histamine foods, sometimes I get, with pumpkin or spinach, I can get a swelling in the eye, just on my left eye up here. And then this was a new one. I was having cherry tomatoes throughout the day. I had some cherry tomatoes, and I had a couple of mornings of apple and cinnamon sprinkled, and I got a rash, like a little rash on my ankle. And I thought it was a bug. Living in Australia, I thought it was a bug that had bitten me. It was a bit itchy. And then after like the third or fourth day, I was like, that's not a bug. And then I looked at everything I was eating, and everything I was eating was on the histamine list. Like literally everything. It was very histamine food. So maybe if my body is cut out the histamine foods and then my body's in balance, maybe I can have the cinnamon. But I just wanted to kind of chuck that to you as like a real life experience that I had.
See, what happens is how you have cinnamon, that also matters. What's the combination you have cinnamon into, right? Now, you believe me, it's a way of eating cinnamon. So you can't have cinnamon in a raw form, because it's going to affect you a lot.
There you go. So, and I did. Right. Okay.
Right. So it needs to be in a cooked form. Because that's what happens is cinnamon, these are natural things. What happens is these things would help you only if you have those, those extracts out of them. Are getting it? You need the extracts from them, not the exact form I'm talking about. You need the extract of cinnamon. So when you put into a cooked food, but again, when it's in the cooked food, it needs to be cooked in the right proportion. You shouldn't be overcooking it or undercook it, right? That's how it is. Now, that's what I love about being here in India, is that these people know exact proportion how to cook and when to put it into your food. Because India, I would say they are kings in spices. So they know their spices very well, and they do know how to put it in a proper form. And that's why I found more healthy people in India than any other world, any parts of the world. That's I would say from my experience, So I've seen people who have still now, I know some people whose grandparents are still alive and they are like more than 100 years of age. And they're still absolutely perfect.
And they're happy, because you can live old but not be miserable.
Absolutely, they're happy. They're happy, and you won't believe that even the toothpaste what we use these days is not good for our health. Do you know that?
I'm sure everything we use is tainted with something. Yeah.
So you wouldn't believe that I've also given on using toothpaste and even soaps for my body for bathing. I've been using Ayurvedic powders for bathing, and that helps me a lot maintaining my skin.
What's the powder made from?
There are more than 30 plus herbs. It's a powder of 30 plus herbs, which I make myself at my place, and I use it.
Whoa! And you kind of do you wet the body and then tap it on, or is it a?
No, you just scrub your body. You just scrub your body, or you apply on your body. It's up to you. You just mix it with water, or you mix it with mix it with yogurt, or you can mix it with milk too. So you can just apply it to your body, and you can just wait for 2 minutes and then wash it off.
Wow.
And there you go. You have got your pretty hygienic skin, and no dead cells at all.
Wow. That's so interesting, because I'm glad we're talking about this, because I think a lot of people are really worried today about eating healthy. And we've just talked about some foods are for us and some not. So someone can look at what they're eating on their plate and be really plant-based, or it's really healthy. But if those foods aren't right for their body type, they can still be experiencing imbalances. And I think it's a great conversation you and I are having about that. Before we wrap up this podcast, because there's still a couple of other questions I do want to ask you, is there anything that you want to leave us with? I think if anyone sparked interest about doshas or eating for their body type, I'll obviously put all your details in the show notes. But is there anything as a closing piece that you want to leave us with Ayurveda before we talk about meditation and stuff?
Okay, so I would just love to tell people over here, all the listeners over here, is that just be natural and eat natural. It's better for you. It's not better for others, it's going to be better for you. Your natural lifestyle is going to help you, and it's going to be beneficial. It's going to benefit you rather than others, right? And how it's going to benefit you and others also is that if you're good, your surrounding is good. That's how it is, right? And if you're happy from inside, everything is happy for you. So eat natural food. That's better for you. And just keep a proper routine. If you keep on changing your routine day by day, so like I'm having my lunch today at 1 and I'm going to have my lunch tomorrow at 3, it's not going to help you. It's going to disturb your lifestyle.
Yep.
Just keeping a proper routine is important.
There you go, guys. Okay. That is okay. So I'm actually going to skip to something that I don't know anything about. Breathwork, meditation. Maybe you and I need to do I think we'll do another podcast about breathwork and meditation. But one thing I want to talk to you about is mudra. Mudras are I'm just going to share something with you. You tell me if I'm right or wrong. Or mudras are ancient hand gestures believed to influence energy flow on the body. Can you share with us what mudra therapy is and the potential benefits? I don't know anything about this, so let's keep it really simple here. What is mudra therapy?
Okay, so mudra therapy is all about, again, it's somewhat connected to meditation and breathwork, right? So I hope you know about meditation, how to meditate. And while meditating, we do use our fingers and we touch the tip, the thumb and your index finger, right? While meditating. This is what we do, right? This is called a mudra. Okay, this is mudra while you meditate. So mudras works while you're meditating. Okay, so now what are mudras? Let's get into that. Mudras are nothing, but they are the hand gestures which helps you to control the energy within your body with the help of energy points which are in your palm or your fingers, tip of your fingers and palm. Okay, so the best mudra people know all over the world about from India is Namaskaram, right? You might have seen this, right? Even this is a mudra, right? When you join hand like that, when you join hand or bring your palms together and say Namaskaram, what happens is the energy points over here on the tip of your fingers, they get touched and somewhat they act as an acupressure, right? And that helps you to circulate energy within your body. And that controls your energy too.
I don't know any. Oh my God. How do I? So everyone, if you get your two hands together and place your palms together and your fingers together, and you just actually do that for a moment and just feel the energy in your hands. I've never taken a moment, like I do it kind of really quickly, like, but I've never actually sat here with my palms together for a moment. There's a lot of energy in my hands.
That's right. The best way to know if you have, if the best way just to know about energy or feel energy, I would say, don't join your palms together. Just keep it apart a bit. Just keep a little bit distance between both of them. Just keep it for a minute or two. Believe me, you would feel it. Even if you try to press it, you won't feel. You would feel a force which is not allowing you to press it or to bring it together. That's what will happen after 2 minutes.
Yeah. Wow, that's pretty amazing, isn't it?
Right. So there are different kind of mudras, and now let me tell you, mudras are very, very ancient techniques to treat diseases if you're going through anything. So now you can treat even patients who are going through cardiac arrest and all this stuff. You can treat them. You can treat cancer through them. So there are lots and lots of mudras. It depends what kind of mudra would suit you. It's just like a medicine. You just need to do it twice or thrice a day, 15 minutes in each time. Every time you do it for 15 minutes, and it's just twice or thrice a day.
And the hand gesture you said actually goes in line with meditation. Like I can't just do the hand thing.
Absolutely. So while you're meditating, when you're in a meditation posture, you just keep your hands into different mudras while meditating, right? And that's where, see, what happens is when you meditate, it's not just you're gaining your consciousness or you're focusing or concentrating on something. You need to focus within yourself. That's how it's going to help you, and that's how the energy gets controlled, isn't it? Right. So when you use mudras, it gives you a push to control your energies within your body, and it tells you this is where the problem lies, and this is where it is working for you. This is where the energy is working for you. That's what you feel like while meditating. Now, meditation, mudra, and breathwork or pranayama, these three things goes hand in hand. So you need to know the combination of these three to have a routine, I would say. Okay. So while meditating, you need to know to breathe properly. To get these mudras work, you need to know how to breathe properly. You need to know how to meditate properly. That's the biggest concern. Now, people say, and see, let me tell you in today's world, people say, meditation, okay, I need to sit and I need to concentrate. And then that's what is meditation all about. No, it's not like that. There are different types of different kinds of meditation. You need to know which type of meditation is suiting you or suits you. It's pretty It's pretty important. See, you can do all kind of meditations. It may suit you or may not, but you need to know, is it literally benefiting you 100% or not?
What different
That's
types
what
of
matters.
what different types of meditation are there? There's like walking and sitting and lying down. That's all I know.
Okay. Now, there is one meditation, simple meditation, what people know, just sitting and concentrating on your third eye, near your eyebrows. That's one meditation. You're concentrating over there. Okay. The second one I would say is to concentrate on nature voice. Okay, bird chirping, just sitting underneath a tree and just listening to the song of birds and chirping. That's another type of meditation. Then there is one more type of meditation where it's completely all about your breathing. It's all about controlling your breath. Now, it's not pranayama. Pranayama is different. Meditation is different, but it's pranayama. I would say pranayama or breathwork is a part of meditation. It's not meditation but it's a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it depends. Now, you may have heard that people would say that if you're meditating, you need to chant a sound, Om, right? You might have heard that. And why people say that please chant Om? Because Om is nothing, but it's a sound that helps you to breathe properly. You need to know how to pronounce that sound, from how to start it and how to end it. That's pretty important.
Yeah.
Right. And that's where mudra comes into place. So while you meditate, while you know the proper breathing technique, your proper meditation technique, which suits you, then mudras, there are different kind of mudras to take into. Now, for women's, there are different mudras, like you have got yoni mudra, which is a mudra for women's who go through their monthly problems, right? That's the mudra for them. Now, there is a mudra for diabetes people who are diabetic, right?
Mm-hmm.
There is a mudra for people who are into pitta dosha, like yourself, to control it. It's there.
Mm.
So there are different kind of mudras, but it needs diagnosis exactly what kind of mudra will suit you.
So it's almost like breath work, meditation, the mudra work is all great, but if you put them all together, that's when you get the real benefits.
Absolutely right.
Okay. Wow. Okay. And then obviously the food, like you'll just be unstoppable if you have all of them.
Absolutely right. So see what happens is at the start I told you our body is made of 5 elements, right? So if you go with those 5 elements, and those 5 elements are just surrounding you, you're surrounded by those 5 elements. You need to go with them, right?
Yeah.
You need to go hand in hand with them. If you're going to show some respect to that, definitely that's going to respect you and your body, right? Now, we talk about global warming all these days. The sun is beating down a lot these days, and it's not good for us. It never happened earlier. Why is that happening? Because we have not taken care at all. We have been cutting down trees like anything, isn't it? Right. So you just need to be in nature, just like that. Believe me, I'm a person. You may feel that this may sound quite stupid or idiotic, but I love to talk to trees. I love to talk to trees because that helps me to be stressless. Whenever I feel stressed or I feel depressed or somewhat, I get a hint that okay, this is gonna hurt me. I talk to trees, and that helps me.
Do they talk back?
Oh yes, definitely. They do.
I have heard that. I've heard that.
They do. Though they don't have spoken words, but they do show their emotions through their movement. This may sound quite idiotic, I know that.
I'm looking at trees outside the window going, oh, do I cross the road and talk to all the trees?
There's a lot to learn from the nature here.
Oh, I understand that. Yeah.
In my whole lifestyle, I've learned a lot. I've first of all, let me tell you, I've learned from nature how to be patient. To be patient, because a tree, when you plant a tree, you don't get fruit immediately, right? When you plant a tree, you don't get fruit immediately. You need to nurture it. You need to nourish it. When it grows up, only then you're going to get fruit from that tree, right? And that's the patience. What I've learned from trees,
Yeah. It's you and I'm going to have you back if that's okay, because
absolutely
there's a few more things that we need to, but I really did want to do like a deep talk about Ayurveda, and even we could probably do another one about Ayurveda in total, because there's just so
much. I'm all yours, yeah.
We can talk about so much, but I think we're going to talk about your details now, but I think we'll stop it there because I want people to come back for more. So we're going to do another one probably about Ayurveda, and then another one about the powerful three, the meditation, the breath work, and the mudra, the hand stuff. So
absolutely.
If anyone would love to find out a bit more about you or work with you, where can they find you, Dave?
I'll just send you my Instagram and my Facebook ID, so definitely you can just leave that in your description, and they can get through to me through that through those IDs. Or also, if people are using WhatsApp, they can WhatsApp me on my international number, and if you want to take it down, I can just go ahead and tell you about my number, or you want me to send it?
Yeah, you want to send it to me, and then I can chuck it in the show notes, and then people can send
absolutely. You can just drop my my WhatsApp number, and people can get in touch with me through WhatsApp too.
Yeah, and
definitely you have my you do have my website address, and people can just book an appointment through that.
Oh, good. And you work with people from all around the world, I take it.
Absolutely, I do take people from all around the world.
Yeah. What a journey you and I have been on today.
Oh, I love that. I loved having conversation with you. It was not, I would say it was just having a chat over what British do say, having a pretty good chat during a high tea.
Yeah. Well, apparently I'm not allowed that anymore. Nah.
Yeah, I'm not allowed to have tea. Yeah, I don't have tea at all.
But no, it's been such a great chat. And I think if we bring it back to, it's all about you and people understanding themselves more. I think it's really going to help a lot of people.
That's a pretty big statement. I would love to tell the listeners. It's all about you.
Yeah.
When we talk about spirituality, again, it's all about you. We talk about Ayurveda, it's all about you. We talk about meditation, mudras or breathwork, again, it's all about you. And all these things go hand in hand.
How beautiful. What a beautiful way to end this podcast. And let's talk again soon, Dave.
Absolutely. Until then, to each and every listener, just get connected to the nature, find a very quiet space, and enjoy your life. And
go talk to a tree and say that Dave says hi.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for that, Barbara.
Thanks, Dave.
Thank you. Namaskaram.
Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. I hope this conversation has added value to your self-care journey and inspired positive changes in your life. If you enjoyed this episode, consider sharing it with a friend who might benefit from this episode. Don't forget to subscribe on Spotify or on your favourite podcast platform to stay up to date on future episodes. Your support means the world to me. I genuinely love hearing from you, so please take a moment to leave a review. Let me know which part of today's episode resonated with you the most. Your feedback guides the direction of this podcast, and I really appreciate each and every single one of you for being a part of this community. To fall in love with yourself is the first secret to happiness. To find out a bit more about the Studio Chat podcast, head over to my Instagram page, Studio Chat Podcast, Or if you want to find out a bit more about my counselling private practice, head over to Instagram on self_care_studio. Or head over to my website, selfcarebybarbarathomson.com.au. I'm really looking forward to seeing you on the next episode. Until next time, take care of yourselves and keep embracing the journey of self-discovery.